a special guest in the building. We got Coach Lynn. Coach Lynn, what's going on, man?
Not too much, man.
Welcome, man. Welcome.
Welcome,
Lynn. Welcome.
Coach Lynn has christened our brand new mic over there. So let's get right into the show, man. Coach Lynn, man, tell us a little bit about yourself. First and foremost, Coach Lynn is one of our wide receivers coach here at Fix Sports Academy. He's joined us on the show today, so introduce yourself, Coach.
Coach Lynn. I coach the wide receivers, like you just said. I am probably the only coach on the staff that's not from the state of Ohio.
We'll get into that too. So,
what's your last name, Lynn?
Lynn Townsend.
Yeah, tell them your last name.
So, man, just tell us about your journey here from Washington D.C., man. Just introduce yourself to the people, man. Give us a slight background.
High school, who you played for.
Right, so I'm from Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Chocolate City.
I went to a school called McKinley Tech. We were not really a sports school, but I did play football there. Didn't have much of a career. What brought me here was me and my now wife. We looked at schools together, and our top school was Kent State. So we went to Kent. And I got an internship during my senior year, and I ended up getting hired there. So I've been there ever since.
Sweet.
So, tell us about your athletic journey, man. I know you got a unique story behind that Kent State. So let us speak on that a little bit more.
Okay, so we chose Kent. We get to Kent, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna try to walk on. I dedicated a lot of time in my first semester getting ready, and I talked to the athletic director. They told me to come out in April, and that's just how it went. I stayed on the team for about a year, and after my coaching staff left, we got a new coaching staff that came in the next spring, and things just didn't work out.
Okay, that's what's up.
Tell us about the rugby experience.
Yeah, tell us about that, man.
You played rugby?
After football was over, I kind of just experimented. Didn't have much else to do. I had a few buddies that were playing rugby, and they wanted me to come out. So I went out, and I was actually pretty good at it, but it wasn't football. So I played a couple semesters of rugby. I played for Kent's team. I was fullback the first semester, and then the second semester they moved me to wing. Fullback is for all of the new people because you basically play like kick return.
Okay.
Okay. And then I stumbled upon semi-pro. Like after my second semester playing rugby, I found the Ohio Golden Knights, and I've been playing semi-pro ever since.
Yeah, so that's where me and Coach Lynn met at. I'm not sure how we found out about it. More than likely because we were having our games there, and it probably got broadcasted there. But ever since then, man, we've been really cool. And I know when we first started what we're doing now a few years ago, man, he was one of the first people that I said gotta come join our staff, man. And I personally can't do anything without that guy over there that you guys are seeing right now and listening to. And we bounce ideas off each other. So a lot of the credit for, these young wide receivers that we work with, it is a mutual thing with me and him. He's just more on the laid back side of social media, but every time something's happened with a receiver or anybody that we work with, man, he's one of the first people to know. But that's a good guy, man. I've won a championship with him, man, and I feel like we talk a lot, not just football, just about being men and being husbands and him potentially, becoming a father soon. So yeah, man, this is Coach Lynn, man. Another thing, man. Tell us about
Yeah, I got some more questions for you, Lynn.
Tell us about your brand, man. I know you've been marketing that the last few years, man. Tell us a little bit more about that, man.
It's still small, but TGBG, it started off as a hashtag. I started using it back in 2011.
What does it stand for?
It stands for To God Be the Glory. It was basically being used to reassure for self-reassurance, I was down, and this hashtag just helped me come back, because I felt like it wasn't a lot positive going on in my life, and that just helped me to keep working.
So you took that brand and ran with it, man. That's what's up, man. Like I said, man, we all see it on your marketing side, man. I know I steal a lot of ideas from you, especially when it comes to marketing and with the advertising and everything that goes along with Fix, man. So that was something that's kind of like a blessing in disguise to to be really friends with you and watch your growth, because some of that stuff, man, be fly, man.
Yeah. I gotta give me a wife beater next year.
Yeah, like a lot of that be fly. You got your own models and everyone, supporting your brand, and that's really big to hear, man. So yeah, I mean, it's good to see your growth, man, for sure. Especially since I've known you since, what was it, 2012, man?
2012.
Man, it's been a while, man. We didn't been since that long.
So what made y'all pick Kent State? I mean, I know it's a diverse school, but what made y'all pick Kent State?
Well, I didn't really pick it, but
Okay.
I had family here, so they were telling me to go to Kent, and then my wife also thought that that would be a good choice for her because they had a good fashion program. She studied fashion. So.
Hey, what you
Yeah,
said?
they
And then you
top in
said,
fashion design.
yeah, and then you said your school wasn't really a sports school. So I mean, what the passion of the game made you want to walk on?
Yeah.
Like what you do in high school wise? You know what I'm saying? Because I coached you,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So I got a chance to really see, like, dang, Lynn really run good routes. He got good hands. I never even. You know what I'm saying? I never even knew, bro, in the years that you barely been training with us, and then to actually get to see you, and I'm like, dang, he played at Kent, bro. Like, he really could have played at Kent. He really played. Like, they, like,
Yeah.
so what was...
It's a long story.
It was number 88, wasn't
it? It was
89.
89. Yeah, I was 12 at first. But in high school, I didn't get everything out of the sport that I thought I should have.
Okay.
So that's what pushed me to work and to be able to play at the next level.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I wasn't done. Like, I still feel like I'm not, but
Yeah,
I really
I feel
didn't
that.
at that point.
I know that.
You felt like you got gypped a little bit in high school.
Yeah. So that's exactly why I am a coach now.
Okay.
Because of all of my shortcomings, I want to make sure that as many kids as possible don't go through what I went through.
So was that a technical school you went to, or
Yeah.
in the inner city?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got your why.
Yeah.
You got your why.
Yeah.
So my question is, you brought up that you're a coach now. Give us a little background on you coaching right now. I know you were coaching at the middle school, and now you're at the high school.
Right.
Give us a little background on the coaching experience and how coaching is going
I
for you.
started coaching in 2016. I was working with some people who encouraged me to.
Go ahead.
I was working with some people that encouraged me to apply at a couple places, and what I did was every school close to me, I put an application out, and only one school called me, and that was Shiloh Middle School.
That's all you need.
So they called me, they interviewed me, they said they really liked me, but they didn't have a position for me. So they said, if you don't mind, you can volunteer. And I said, well, it wasn't about the money anyway. Let me coach. Long story short, in like 2 weeks, one of the positions became open. They gave it to me, and I was offensive assistant for the 7th grade, and we went 7-1, and we won the conference that year. The following year, the 8th grade head coach left. I applied for it, and they gave it to me. That was
it.
Yeah, you
Earned it.
Yeah. I earned it.
That's the year you was bringing the one kid down to training too, right?
No, it was after that.
After that, yeah.
Oh, that's when you got to the 8th grade.
Man, tell him you won a championship. Stop being humble.
Yeah,
Tell him you won a
man.
championship. That's
Put
what
that shit up, man.
So the 2017 season was interesting. I had 6 of my 7th graders that, went to 8th grade. They were ineligible, who were potential starters. So it was a trying year. I think we went 4-4 still though, and we only lost to like 2 teams in the city. We went to the conference championship, even though the year was pretty shaky, and we lost to Bay Village by 8 points. And when I came back my third year, we had a really good year. Our offensive line and defensive line was much improved, and we ended up going undefeated.
Okay. Okay, so I got one question before we move on to the next segment. I got guys I play basketball with in college, and they're from DC. One's from Southeast DC, another one's from Oxon Hills. And I know they went to Seed Charter, and Seed is you actually live on campus. So my question to you is, did you live on campus at your school in DC?
No, so it was a DC public school.
Okay.
We were just it wasn't like tech schools here.
Okay.
It was a technology school though. So in other words, now you would classify it as a STEM school.
Okay.
That's what's up.
Okay, yeah. I mean, a lot of those guys I played basketball with in college, they were telling me that, and I thought that was the wildest story that I ever heard, especially coming into college. So they already had a sense of how to live in dorms and everything of that nature, and then just hearing them speak on like, yeah, I haven't lived at home since I was in middle school. I'm like, what are you talking about? So that was just something that was just on my mind. So hot topic, man. It's that time, and it's
playoff edition.
Yes, indeedy.
It's the high school playoffs, man. Man, it's a lot of intriguing matchups, man. We got Region 1, man. We got Cleveland Heights at Mentor. We got Solon at McKinley. We got Medina at St. Ed. We got those Jackson Polar Bears at Euclid, Region 5. We got Warren Harding at Massillon. Hudson at Perry. Willoughby South at Mayfield. That's actually a rematch, too, a regular season matchup. Then we have Alliance at Hoban. Region 6, we got Worcester at Avon.
Who just made it.
Yeah, just made it.
They made it, though.
They made it, yeah. We got our guy, Coach Potter's Brecksville Bees at Cleveland Benedictine. We got Maple Heights at Avon Lake. We got a very intriguing matchup, Olmsted Falls at Wadsworth. Based off the history of Olmsted Falls, they're always a tough
team,
out. Yeah. That's a tough team. And then we got Region 9, man, which is we got the defending champs, Kinston at New Philly. We got the Steubenville Big Red at Aurora. We have St. Beast at Streetsboro, and then we have Chardon at Dover. So, you guys' most intriguing matchup?
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
My most intriguing matchup is another part 2. We got Warren versus Massillon, and also Solon versus McKinley. Both those teams, all 4 of those teams played each other this year. So you got Warren Hardy versus Massillon part 2.
Wow.
And Solon versus McKinley part 2.
Dang, I didn't even know that McKinley Solon was a rematch game. And it's hard to beat a team twice too, man.
Yeah,
it's hard to beat a team twice, especially in the
playoffs is a different breed.
There's no holes. My most intriguing one is not. I'm not even gonna lie, man. I'm looking to see what Coach Ponder can do. You know what I'm saying, with Brecksville against Benny. You know what I'm saying, because Benny do got a really good team. Even though they took that loss to Hoban, but outside of that, man, they look very strong. They look strong. I told you at the beginning of the season, even when they had the scrimmage against St. V, I was like, they're going to be better than what they showed then. Mm-hmm. And then they showed it. I mean, they do running back 1,500 yards. Defense is solid. What I liked about them, they got a good size up front, but Coach Ponder got something for them with Brecksville's quarterback. I was just reading up on that, and then I'm like, he already a quarterback guru. You know what I'm saying? So he going to be able to probably, I don't know, I'm very interested to see.
Remember Coach Potter told us a few years ago when he got that job, he said he had a young quarterback that he's going to be really good.
He mentioned that too. Yeah, he mentioned that too, man.
He's starting right now. Coach Lynn, man, what's up? I know some of these teams is in your neck of the woods, man.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to see any of these teams.
That's coaching, man.
Yeah, because you've been coaching. You're going against them.
Okay, so my most intriguing matchup, man, I was just talking about it, man. Olmsted Falls and Wadsworth, man. Like, if people don't know the history of Olmsted Falls as far as high school football, that was one of the first teams that I actually got to see as a kid. When they were playing Bookto in the state semifinal, the year they won I believe it was their first state championship. So ever since then, every time I hear Olmsted Falls, I think
that name rings.
that name rings.
Yeah,
and
man,
they're in the playoffs every year. And just looking at that Region 6, Avon and Avon Lake and Olmsted Falls, they're all in the same conference, so they all play each other. And then that Steubenville Aurora game is intriguing. One, because I've played against both of those teams in the playoffs. We beat Aurora and we lost to Steubenville a few times in the playoffs. So that game is going to be intriguing. I'm
I think
interested
that
to see.
Kinston one too is.
Yeah, that Kinston one is too.
Especially if that quarterback Philly hurt, and then they the defending champs in Division III, so it's gonna be hard to out the champs
In the first round. Yeah, definitely. And I'm intrigued to see how Steubenville plays away from Hardin Stadium in the first round.
They got a nice trip to.
Yeah, they got a long trip. They typically have a home game, so pick them, guys, man. Who y'all got in the first round, man? Who's advancing to the next round on all those regions?
I go for the regions first. In my picks, I got Mentor over Cleveland Heights. Congratulations, though, Mac Stevens, getting your boys up in there.
Man, Mac been putting that work in, man.
Mac been putting a lot of work in, man. Congratulations, man, for that.
91,
yeah. That's a great thing, man. But I still got y'all losing the Mentor. You know what I'm saying? Even though I don't like the rematch games too often, because usually the team who won the first time lose the second time, unfortunately. But I'm going to go with my McKinley boys. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Stark County dude. We got a few guys from Akron that play down there now. And then we got guys that we train down there, so I got to be supportive of them in that situation. Shout out to y'all, man. Good luck. St. Ed's, and then I got Euclid in Region 1. You want to go through each region or each pick?
Just go through your picks, man.
Okay.
Just go through your picks.
We got that matchup again. My gut telling me that Warren Harding might pull that upset, just because it's a different team than when they first played Massillon. So I think they played them like third or fourth game of the season.
You think Massillon gonna sleepwalk into that?
I don't know, man, because they be acting like they mind on something else sometimes, so I don't know. But I got Massillon winning the game, though. Then I got Perry. My little cuz play fullback for them, so I'm definitely going to ride with him, and they've been playing a lot better. Hopefully their defense can stand up to what Hudson going to bring to them. That's the question in that game.
Hudson is tough, man.
Yeah, Mayfield.
Hudson
then I got Mayfield.
tough.
And then I got, of course, I'm going to ride with Hoban. That's the hardest one right there because I'm originally from Alliance.
That's your hometown.
Man, that's my hometown, man. And, we didn't train a lot of them. I done grew up with some of their people's parents, and people been calling me all week, hey, can you give me some tickets? There's, shit playing, and they did all type of stuff, all type of scenarios. But, you know what I'm saying? It's a blessing, though. I ain't going to lie, because I kind of knew this was going to happen once they put them in the region. But now to see it really happening, man, it's like, I know for a fact, the city on fire. Because we from Alliance, you know what I'm saying? Chip family from Alliance, he got a big name up here, and then, they playing hoping, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, the city hey, if we good, if we can win this, we know we really good. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sorry, I love Alliance, I love y'all to death, man. But y'all don't got no chance, man. But you know what I'm saying? But I know that y'all have a really, really good team. If it was anybody else in the region, I would pick y'all to win.
Shout out Jaden too, man.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out Jaden. Yeah, shout out Brayton too. You know what I'm saying? Brayton, when we seen you at quarterback over the summer, over the wintertime, we I don't know about quarterback, but you done came in and threw 3 straight 300-yard games.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? And got 8 or 9 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? That's great. You know what I'm saying? Coming in after y'all dude got hurt. So, I love the matchup, man, but I just got to go with hoping. Then Benny's, even though I want to see what Ponder do, I'm interested. That's why I said that was one of my intriguing ones, but I still think Benny's might be too much athletically for them. Avon, Lake, Wadsworth. Then I got New Philly, even though Kinston probably going to be the better team. Aurora. Then I got St. V picking the upset on St. V just because, let's be honest, I didn't think St. V was going to win 5 games. They lost a lot of people, bro, but it shows the heart of their kids over there to even get here because I know when, them kids left, I know a lot of y'all was devastated behind that. And you know what I'm saying? It was on social media, so we knew. But y'all pulled together, and y'all was able to make a great season out of something that a lot of people didn't expect from you. So I'm going to ride with y'all. I'm going to keep riding with y'all, man. And then shout out Savion, because you got your first touchdown too, big boy. And, and then I'm going to pick Dover. You know what I'm saying? Chardon. East we knocked them out last year, and then we beat them this year, but unfortunately we ain't make it. But Dover, I'm gonna pick y'all to beat Chardon. One of my picks.
Well, I'll make my picks a little quicker than that.
I'm sorry, though.
I'm gonna go with Mentor. I'm gonna go with McKinley. I'm gonna go with Eds, and I'm gonna go with Euclid. For Region 5, I'm gonna go with Maslin. I'm gonna go with Perry. I'm gonna go with Mayfield. Then I'm gonna go with Hoban. For Region 6, I'm gonna go with Avon. I'm gonna go with Benedictine. I'm gonna go with Maple Heights. Then I'm gonna go with Wadsworth. In Region 9, this was my toughest pick. I think it can go either way. You know, I'm gonna go with New Philly. Then I'm gonna go with Aurora. I'm gonna go with Streetsboro, and I'm gonna go with Dover.
Man, I'm gonna slide through this. Mentor, McKinley. I'm taking St. Ed. I'm taking Jackson in the upset, man. I like that kid, Ryan. Even though I know Euclid is good, but I'm taking Jackson in the upset. I'm going with Maslin.
You going with the Crusaders?
I'm taking Hudson in the upset. I'm rolling with Mayfield, and I'm rolling with Hoban. I'm gonna roll with Avon plus 20. I'm not going against Coach Potter. I'm taking Brecksville. I'm gonna take Maple Heights in the upset over Avon Lake 2. And then Wadsworth, Olmsted Falls. I can't go against Dom. I'm taking Wadsworth. I'm taking Kinston over New Philly because rumor has it their quarterback is hurt down there at New Philly. I'll never pick Big Red in anything, so I'm going with Aurora. Go Griffs. I'm taking St. V over Streetsboro because I don't know if Streetsboro is really that good yet. I don't know on Friday. And I'm taking Dover over Chardon. I think that's going to be probably the highest scoring game of the first round for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta stop that wing T, but they gotta stop that
That's
ride.
Yeah. So that's like a heavyweight boxing match right there. That's a slugger and a boxer. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't be surprised if they scored 200 total points, maybe combined.
There's going to be a lot of points in that game. Coach Lynn, man, what's up?
What's up?
Who you think you gonna pick, Lynn?
Go ahead, Lynn.
I'll be shooting in the dark, man.
Shooting in the dark, man.
You'll be shooting in the dark.
Yeah,
Because you're not going to shoot when we start talking about this college
50
football.
chance in the dark.
Yeah.
All right, Region 1, I'm going to say Cleveland Heights.
Okay.
Oh, that's an upset, right? That's
Yeah,
the biggest
follow
upset
Mac.
of the whole brackets.
Definitely McKinley. I'll pick St. A's. They up by me. So Euclid. Region 5. Picking Maslin. Perry. Mayfield. And Hoban, of course. Region 6. I take Avon. Brecksville.
That's a
Maple
tough
Heights.
one.
Yeah, it is.
I know Shaq going to have them boys ready.
Yeah. And Wadsworth. And then Region 9, I go with New Philly, Aurora, Streetsboro, and Dover.
Okay. Hey, man, let's get into college football. Before we get into college football, I just want to say that everything I said last week, other than Memphis and SMU,
I know.
was right to a T, man.
I know, that's
was
crazy.
Right to a T. Man,
That's crazy.
Florida, Georgia, man.
I was watching that Georgia game.
What did I say?
Man, I know, man. I
What
know.
did I say? I
Man,
said
like, what?
the Florida Gators are the Dallas Cowboys of college
Man, you gonna quit
football.
talking about my Cowboys, man.
Of college
We
football.
won the other night.
Did I not say that? And did I not say Utah was on an upset watch? They almost lost. And then I told you USC was going to lay a dud. And I told you my Hokies was going to come out and ball against Notre Dame, man. It came down to a last-second drive, man. I watched it. Our entire starting secondary was hurt So they was all at the game. But man, what's you guys' thoughts on those big games that we talked about, other than me being right?
I was kind of surprised by the USC score. I thought just how they played, just leading up into this game, that they would actually be more competitive. 56-24 is not competitive at all.
I'm pulling for the Pac-12, man. I'm pulling for it to get in that playoff, man.
Yeah, because they got what? They got two teams that's only one loss.
One loss.
But one of them got to play each other though.
Not regular season.
Yeah, but for the conference championship.
That's why it's important that they both win.
Yeah, but it's going to have to be Utah because Arizona State got to play Oregon, and I'm rooting for Arizona State all the time. I don't care who it is. It's like, no. And then that Georgia-Florida, man. Like, oh, my God. Florida, that was disappointing. It was. Man. It was disappointing, man. Like, come on.
I knew I should have stayed with my pick. Florida and how they looked first game. I'm like, but they've been doing good and winning.
Yeah. You thought this was their step that they needed to get back to
Florida. They can't be Big Brother, man. That's what it just looked like out there. It looked like they couldn't be Big Brother.
Yeah, stepped on, man.
That Memphis was just a shootout. That Memphis SMU was a shootout. If it was at home, I think SMU win. You know what I'm saying? I think SMU win.
It was a great environment for college game day. I'm sure they everyone enjoyed that. You know, that primetime spotlight down there.
Yeah, I told y'all Memphis. That was my one.
Too.
You know, I knew Memphis was gonna pull it out, man. That's their first time, you know, being on it
game
under
day.
The lights.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I was surprised by the score of the Oregon USC game. I kind of figured Oregon would win. I didn't think they'd put up 56 though.
They're another team, man. USC never played good against Oregon.
Nope.
A good Oregon team never play against a good Oregon team, but they'll beat everyone else in an upset. Coach Lynn, you a Maryland fan, right?
Nope.
What's your team?
Florida State.
Oh, you're a Sun.
So how you feel about Jack?
Man, speaking of that,
no.
Hey, and that's another thing I said too, man.
Yeah, you did. You did say he might be out. We was just talking about that.
He
might be out. He might be out.
I don't think he's gonna last, man. There's too many expectations, high expectations, man. And when I was reading that article about the AD start bringing ticket sales and alumni giving money, it kind of seemed like it was like premeditated. Like, you don't get him out, we don't get money, we don't sell tickets, we don't buy tickets, and then you start reading that and it's like, this was preconceived, man. Like they I just don't. Like I said, I felt like he didn't have a really legit chance to be a long-term coach. It was a lose-lose for him. They gave him opportunity because he was the best coach at the time that was available. And that's what
we're gonna leave the end right there, though.
But was the product there?
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like what was going on the field? Like they were just losing, and maybe they lost by a couple points, field goal or a touchdown here and there. They were getting blew out.
Yeah.
They look like the little giants sometimes out there. Like, I know that's your team, bro.
Talk to us about it, man. Talk to us about it.
I know you've been watching them.
Give us some insight, man, because y'all know you more of a Florida State dude.
I ain't been able to watch too much this year, but I mean, I see it all the time. It just looked like, as far as offense, the play calling just wasn't what it needed to be.
I don't think he had his personnel either. Though.
Right. I mean, but when you don't have the personnel, you got to adjust, and there were no adjustments.
And I think that's where some people in the position who fired him, you know what I'm saying? I don't think they understand that, because if you really want somebody to give them a legit chance to build a program, it takes 2 or 3 years. You know what I'm saying? So they can get the kids they want. You know what I'm saying? Not get somebody else's kids who going to be, you know, I don't know this coach. You know, it's going to be even harder to gel with them. You know what I'm saying? It's just a whole different thing, you know what I'm saying, when you have your own thing. Because I know that's how it was when we was at Akron. I know Coach Owens tried to run out everybody who wasn't there. And then, you know, our third year, we were starting to be successable. And then, you know, we started seeing draft picks.
How long was he there?
A year and a half.
He didn't make it, too. He didn't make
Bro,
it,
it was a year and a half. He didn't even get it. Man, bro. Yeah, he was a year and a half.
That's what I was
That's what he said last week. It was a year and a half.
Woo.
Man, that's crazy.
At least I gave him 4. He got.
Man, they gotta give him 3. Give him 3. Yeah, you ain't even recruited nobody yet.
Yeah, you gotta give him the cycle.
You see what happened though? As soon as he recruited that running back from DeMatha, deep committed.
They lost 3 top 300 commits.
He's dope too.
They lost 3 commits
Yeah,
ASAP.
you know what I'm saying? Like y'all got him there for that purpose to get the recruit. Come on, man. We ain't getting because he got a good resume. He was a great coach, but let's think about it, man. This is Florida State. You got to have the black factor. I'm sorry. And as a coach, you need to recruit those kids and get those same kids back. And he was somebody that really could have got to them. Now, who y'all gonna go to now? You know what I'm saying? Who they gonna really? Who really? I mean, it's enough coaches out there, but now they gotta come after.
I didn't know that.
Man,
I didn't know he was only there for a year.
Man, year and a half, man. A year and a half.
That ain't enough time to turn a program around.
No, not at all.
That ain't. I thought Jimbo been going longer than that.
No. You see what Jimbo did, but man, I think it's a lot like behind the scenes that we can't see because it looked like it's a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
That
Because Jimbo ran up out of it.
Oh yeah. I mean, he knew what was going on.
Yeah.
Hey, this week, man, we got top 25 games, man. We've been talking about Penn State the last few weeks, and this that matchup, man. They got Penn State, Minnesota. We got LSU, Alabama, K-State, Texas, Iowa, Wisconsin, which is intriguing as well. Iowa State at Oklahoma. Who we got this week?
Man, them first two is what I want to see.
Yeah.
Penn State versus Minnesota.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out if Penn State really good. We're gonna find out if Minnesota really good.
Yeah.
And then that Alabama LSU is at Bama. So.
Yeah, but what's name still hurt though, ain't he?
No, he cleared.
He practiced.
He practicing. He cleared. He done sat 2 weeks. He had a week off, and he got this week. He gonna be good.
Oh, he good.
Yeah.
He gravy trained.
That ankle.
Hold on, I might have to change my pick a little bit.
I'm
going with the same one. Like I'm interested to see what Penn State too, but I don't think Minnesota is good as we thought they was. This gonna be like a Wisconsin Ohio State game.
I haven't seen him play. I can't speak on it.
Man, I seen him play against South Dakota State.
Man, dude.
Hey, they almost lost though.
Man, we not counting.
I know. I'm just clowning a little bit. I mean, really, they do got a good team, but I just don't believe they're gonna beat Penn State though.
Lynn, who you like, man? Who you like?
What, all these games?
Yeah, pick them.
Either pick either one you want. Man.
I'm gonna go with Penn State in the Minnesota game. LSU, Bama. It's kind of hard to pick against Bama. K-State, Texas. I feel like that could go either way. I'm gonna say K-State though.
Okay.
Iowa, Wisconsin. I'm gonna say Wisconsin, and Iowa State, Oklahoma.
Where's that Wisconsin game at?
I think that's at Wisconsin. I could be wrong, but I think that's at Wisconsin.
Sure it's at.
I think if it was at Iowa, it would be a primetime game just because of the stakes, and I think that's a rivalry game too.
Yeah, if it's at Wisconsin, I'm going Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But
we gonna see. We'll see how good Minnesota is, minus what George talking about South Dakota State. I didn't hear that.
I was just joking. I mean, but they haven't been winning. They 7-0. Don't get it twisted, but they haven't been winning convincingly though.
They haven't played anyone, but like
that's the whole point.
That's what I said. We're gonna find out. That's what
we're gonna see.
I haven't seen.
But I just don't think they're gonna. I just don't think it's gonna happen though.
So I think Texas beat Kansas State. I think. Who cares about Iowa and Wisconsin, honestly? I think
they lost nobody.
I think Oklahoma beats Iowa State. Has you guys top 4 teams changed? Minus that college football ranking that we saw yesterday, which is
kind of weird.
In my opinion, I think it's pointless right now because it's still a lot of football to be played.
I think they just did it just to really have something to talk about.
Do they really do it? Did they do it early last year? I don't remember doing this early
last year.
Because it really don't matter what they put out this week because guess what? It's going to change. This week it's going to change. Then next week is going to change because Alabama and LSU play each other.
I said
Penn State, Ohio State play each other,
or at least
so it's changing in 2 weeks.
With the last 2 or 3 weeks of the season when they should start doing this. But have you guys top 4 teams changed at all?
No. I still got my same top 4.
Yeah, I got my same top 4 too.
We go top 4 teams right now, Lynn. In no particular order. If you know.
Particular order?
Yeah.
Bama, LSU, O State, Georgia.
Oh, you got Georgia?
Okay. He rocking
You
with
ain't say
Georgia.
Clemson?
Hey, I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. Mine hasn't changed.
Clemson ain't playing nobody else either. Yeah.
Mine hasn't changed at all, man. Heisman. Is this week make or break for Joe Burrow?
Yes,
Yep.
because Joey B is at the top of my list right now.
Yep. I think he's gonna perform. He on top of my list too. I think he's gonna perform well. I think he'll perform very well. That's the only chance they got to win. He has to perform well.
Is this if Tua outplays Joey, does he become the front runner? Because he's been kind of quiet. I think that.
I don't think so.
Who's your number 2 other than Chase Young?
After him,
Yeah.
I'd still go with Jalen Hurts. Even though they lost that game, I would still go with Jalen Hurts. I would go with him before I go with Tua. Me personally.
I would too.
Yeah, I would too.
Even after this game, or are we talking right now?
We talking about right now.
Right now, okay. Do you guys think Chase Young kind of has an advantage over the quarterbacks and the running backs because he plays defense?
No.
You think he's at a disadvantage?
Yes.
Yeah, he
He
definitely
can get
is.
double and triple teamed every play. He can get double and triple teamed every single play.
You think there's any pressure on him now, or do you think he really cares?
There's no pressure on him because he plays defensive end.
That's why I think he's at an
If
advantage.
you don't win, it wasn't meant for really a defensive guy to win.
Yes.
It's never
But-
been for there was a guy to win. He holding the football, bro. Unless it's a DB getting an interception, like.
But if you look at the games and who Ohio State has to play, I wouldn't be surprised if he leading the candidates after this game. They play Maryland, and I can pretty much say he gonna get 4 of them.
You gonna break his record?
He gonna get 4 of them.
Yeah,
I don't know.
he look.
Maryland played them tough last year.
Yeah, they did.
That was last year.
That was last
Yeah,
year.
that was last. They looked better last year.
Different coach too. Different
Yeah.
system, different quarterback too.
And he got some stat chasing to do the next couple of weeks, man. I mean, granted, they got Maryland, then they got Penn State, I believe,
Yeah.
and then they got like Rutgers, and I mean, he gonna end up with 20.
He might not play the
30
second
plus
half
sacks.
against Rutgers. I think I'm gonna just put this out there, man. I've been on the road the last couple of weeks. If Tua outplays Joe Burrow this weekend, he's gonna be the front runner for Heisman
Why?
because
Media.
on prime time, media. I think Jalen Hurts took a step back with that loss, unless he comes out and gets
still ain't out of it,
530 total yards and 5 touchdowns.
They still ain't out with this playoff chase, so.
If Tua comes out and tears LSU's DBs up, that defense up, 4 touchdowns, let's say 300 yards, and the completion percentage, that's crazy.
I don't think that's gonna happen though.
I think he'll be the front runner if he outplays him.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
I don't think so neither.
You don't think
I
he
think
gonna
missing,
win?
missing a
LSU's
couple
defense is
games,
good.
man. Yeah,
LSU defense is
and
good.
missing a couple games.
and
That got to factor in.
that's why I think he'll jump him.
Because he missed a couple games and being out, I can see. what
And
you're
come
saying.
back
No, I
in
mean,
and have a
tear that-
game
that-
like that, then I can feel
We know
that.
LSU's DBs are good. And that's why I say if he outplays Joe Burrow, and it's hard to outplay Joe Burrow the way Joe Burrow's been smoking the last month of the season. If he outplays him against those DBs in particular, which probably is
One of the best groups in the
Yeah.
country.
we could say top
Not deep
3,
group, yeah.
Top
you know,
two.
top 2,
groups.
other than those other 2 corners for Alabama and probably Florida secondary.
Ohio State got a good secondary.
Ohio State got some good secondary
Yeah,
too.
with this Ohio State stuff.
But I feel like he I know that hurt you to say that.
no, it's good.
If he outplays them, I think he'll.
I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah,
jump.
I see your argument, man.
He's gonna be right back in the spotlight, man.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting on Sunshine, and where's Sunshine at, man?
Man.
I'm waiting on.
Mm.
It just seems like Clemson hasn't been on the spotlight all year, man.
They don't play nobody, man.
That's what it is, and we're starting to see that too. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what the voters starting to see too.
Yeah,
like,
They play Wake Forest, but my Hokies
But
don't take
Wake
care
Forest
of
is
Wake
not a
Forest this week.
consistently good team neither. So
they breeze through that ACC on
Yeah.
the low, then they pop up, hey,
and then they struggled a couple. Well,
They not
a
putting the
couple
champs
games.
out, man. But like I said, man, I'm pulling for the Pac-12, man, to get that final spot. We all know. I'm just gonna say Ohio State's gonna get that spot. I'm gonna say whoever wins the SEC championship, whoever that is gonna get that spot. I feel like Clemson is in the driver's seat by 4 to get that 3rd spot, and then it's gonna come down to.
another SEC team or the Pac-12 team.
I don't think that's gonna happen with the SEC team unless it's LSU. if Alabama loses, I don't think
they
they
no. I don't think
they let Alabama in. But I think if
Alabama lose any time before the playoffs, I don't think they.
I don't think they're gonna get in.
Man, I don't think so, man. That they.
The history of getting in.
You gotta think the marketing.
It's beyond
the travel.
It's actual record.
That's what they've been saying about Ohio State too.
Ohio State travels well.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't.
And so does Bama.
But they didn't.
It's
let
all
Ohio
about
State
that
out.
money though too when it comes down to it. Yeah.
They didn't let them out. That's what I mean. And put this out there. All right. Let's say Alabama beats LSU. LSU wins out. Right. You look at who LSU lost to. They lost to Alabama. And look at who they beat. They beat Florida,
Georgia, who was both top 10 teams when they beat them.
Did they beat Georgia? No, they beat Florida, Texas, and Auburn.
Yeah,
Auburn statistically has the toughest schedule in the nation. So you beat those three. If Texas, looking at Texas' schedule, I think Texas finishes like top 18 in the country. Looking at their schedule, they only have Baylor left on the schedule. That's really tough. I think they get in. Now what changes that is if they beat Alabama. I think Alabama's out, and then it becomes a race for the Big 12 and the Pac-12. If the Pac-12, those two teams, Oregon and Utah, went out, then we're probably looking at that. But what makes it...
They got to play each other.
They got to play each other, so whoever wins that. But what makes it intriguing is this Big 12 with Baylor being undefeated. So let's say...
Baylor went out.
No, let's say Oklahoma beats Baylor, and then Baylor beats Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship, and you got the winner of the Pac-12, and
neither one of them getting in.
Only one of them getting in.
Yeah, I know the Pac-12. Yeah,
George won't be Pac-12.
No, I'm just saying though, it like in that scenario, that's just my thought on that. You saying that if Baylor beat Oklahoma. No, if Oklahoma beat Baylor in regular season, and then Baylor turn around and beat them, neither one of them getting in. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Because
I think
that
it makes
already,
it interesting.
Yeah, it do. Shit, then excuse me, but that already make Oklahoma what? 2 losses though.
Yeah.
So that definitely eliminates them. You know what I'm saying? And then Baylor already losing to them. You know what I'm saying? If that scenario happens, that's eliminating them. You know what I'm saying? They getting beat by a 2-loss team. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It'd be very interesting.
But it'd be the same thing if Utah beats Oregon. Oregon had 2 losses, but Utah has that bad loss against USC.
Yeah, but I don't think Oregon and Utah, do they play? I don't think they
don't play regular season.
Yeah,
so
they only gonna have so it's only gonna be that one.
But Utah already got a loss.
Yeah,
it's a bad loss. We'll have to see.
Yeah, we have to see. Hey, that's what it come down. That's what's gonna come down to. The
Utah end up maybe like UCF.
On the outside, yeah.
On the outside looking in with one loss. With one loss, they can go win the Pac-12 and still not make it.
Over that, yeah. I think Oregon. If Oregon wins, I think Oregon definitely gets that. If their only loss is to Auburn, who has a tough schedule and plays in the SEC, and
I think my personal opinion. I think the Rose Bowl runs the show. That's the granddaddy of them all.
Yeah.
And they're going to make sure their best team from the Pac-12
is there. Yeah, that's,
if they don't get
in. That might be Utah.
Yeah.
Man, players of the week.
High school players of the week.
Our guy again, Mr. Consistent, he's just going to name nameless. We'll keep him nameless. And again, man, he had another spectacular game, over 200 total yards, 3 touchdowns. Actually had a game-winning touchdown receiving pass.
Yeah, 40 yards or something.
Yeah, about 40 yards. Dom Laparo from Wadsworth. And, man, I don't know how I missed this initially over the weekend with Vic Dawson.
Yeah, he got USA Today nominated.
He got USA nominated for Player of the Week.
Yeah,
I saw it yesterday. Last night on Twitter.
Yeah, that's what I shared on my page, man. I didn't even know until I had to click on it. Like, hold on, he got nominated. Yeah, he US Today. He had 10 carries.
Dawson. Man, he had 225 yards and 3 touchdowns.
On 10 carries.
See, I didn't know it was on 10 carries.
It was on 10 carries, bro.
What?
Chip told me he was on 10 carries. Like, Vic has been amazing, man. Congratulations, man. Yeah, he do, man. You got a lot of talent, bro. We didn't know you had that much, man. Like 10 for 2. Like he had like I know he got to be like the 800 yards.
I think going into the playoffs, man, him
That
getting Chip back,
punch.
man, that 1-2 punch, because that was something.
That's scary.
That's what helped him the last few years, hoping getting to that.
Yeah, I mean,
1-2.
that was something that was
a
a major question mark going into that. We knew that Vic would step into it.
Yeah, but it just took him a while. It's kind of like that
comfort zone, man.
Yeah, that time with Chip being out.
Yeah, that comfort zone. Yep. And then we got Terrence Keys, man, another good game. I actually watched the game, streamed it, man, and that touchdown to really ice that game. Yeah. Was big, man. 170 total yards and another touchdown.
That kid's a workhorse, man. Him and Doms, they workhorse, man. They give them the football and them dudes run that thing, man.
Yeah.
Who we rocking
man,
with?
This is hard, man. I thought about this when you sent it to us yesterday, man. This the first time I'm gonna do this, and I usually pick the unanimous, but just because all three of these guys have been so consistent, I'm gonna go with all three. That's my co-player of the week. You know what I'm saying? I love how consistent Dom has been over the season. I love what Vic has done. You know what I'm saying? Stepping into his role and taking that leadership and putting the team lightweight on the shoulders a little bit. And then what I love what Man did. I love what Terrence Keys did in you stepped into one of the biggest rivalries in the country and made one of the biggest plays in a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like where you can really see
it's gonna be memorable.
It really wasn't really close matchups. Like last year, Mason kind of, I ain't gonna say blew him out, but they did control the whole game. The year before alternated. You know what I'm saying? To step in there and play a big role in a game like that of that magnitude. I commend you, man. You know what I'm saying? I seen it, and then when I was listening to it at work, so I was streaming it. And then when I heard him break, I'm like, there you go, boy. Like, okay. Like, I knew it too, man. You kind of felt it coming. You know what I'm saying? And just, so that's going to be my thing. Y'all, all three of them is going to be, you know what I'm saying, co-players of the week for me, man. I'm proud of all y'all, man, and everything y'all done did this season.
Coach Lynn, who you got?
Well, after you say 10 carries, I'm going to have to go with Vic Dawes.
Man, I kind of feel like George, man. After 10 weeks of football, man, I think Dom's name been on here at least 7 or 8 times.
He's been on every week.
You know, like Dominic Laparo, what he's been doing all year, that's the reason we named him Mr. Consistent, you know. Vic, 10 for 225 and 3 tugs is amazing, man. I don't care who you played it against. You had 10 carries for 225 and 3 touchdowns. That's a good game, man. And then Terrence Keys, you know, stepping in there and like you said, one of the biggest rivalries in the country. His first time playing in it.
Yeah, that was so impressive because that could be overwhelming for some people to go out there and see McKinley and Maslin and then really know the tradition. And he took it, embraced it, and shined.
Yeah, he went out there and did what he's been doing ever since he touched the football, and that's play football and run the rock hard, you know. But I kind of feel like he feels it'd be kind of jipping a kid if I picked one of them. So I'm gonna go with all 3 of these dudes this week.
This is tough. I think consensus is to give all 3 co-player of the week. But I'm going to call it audible real quick. I'm giving player of the week to that East High School defense. All 11 guys and everyone who rotates, I'm calling the audible. Man, these dudes went unscored on the city play, man.
That's history, right?
I don't think...
At least decades.
Yeah.
At least
we can probably look that up, man.
I don't think I've seen a defense like that in the city since... Steve Walker defense, Michael McElrath was on that team, Dante Swain, Roland McClain. I don't know how Charlton and them was.
No, they were good.
They were good too.
They ain't going to score though.
But for them to go unscored on, we talking goose eggs the last 5 weeks. Goose eggs.
That's incredible.
That's insane.
Man, that Bengali, Sean, Amarian, Sean Gates,
Marlon
Lee, Boo Boo,
Miles Cooper,
man, everyone, the booth,
yep,
man, it Sekou, man, that is, and I'm an offensive guy, and I don't like giving defense credit, but that's great. So I'm giving East High School that defense. I'm giving them player of the week, man. I'm giving them boys player of the
Man, you
week.
sure you want to do that, man? Because you might lose some fans, bro. Because you a book to alum, bro. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I had to ask, but it ain't that personal, man. But let's give credit where credit due, though. To be honest with you, man, that is amazing. The one is like 232-0. Like as far as points scored,
230 something to 0.
Man, that is crazy, man.
I'm talking about the last 5 games.
And then note that it's very, very good athletes and very good players. I mean, even though some of these teams wasn't as good, but like Kenmore was good though. Kenmore had a better season than what we thought they would, and they won and beat some teams that actually I think they played Salem really tough, and Salem is actually in the playoffs.
Yes, Salem was undefeated when they played.
And they was hanging with them. So I mean, congrats, man, to that East defense, man.
Well, my biggest thing is majority of our starters did not play. Most of the second half none of our starters play in the fourth quarter except in our championship game versus Bookto. None of our starters played in the fourth quarter at all. So, giving those starters a lot of pub and a lot of credit. But our younger guys, our backups, and our JV guys, they stepped in and played halves and didn't give up a touchdown. I think it was one game they didn't even give up a first down, and that was with the JV kids, So kudos to those guys, man. They really go out there and work and earn it, man. And glad you gave them some recognition, man. But it goes to the kids, man. They do what they need to do, and they go out there and have fun.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard not to, man. Just I know personally how hard they work, but just to see that, man, it's still amazing. So shout out to East High School, that defense, especially those seniors. Gridiron story. Today's gridiron story. Who were you guys' favorite player growing up, and what player did you try to emulate your game after? Whether that's college, whether that's high school, whether that was Pee Wee. Who did you try to emulate your game after?
Go ahead.
I'll go first. Mm-hmm. Well, with me, in Pee Wee and youth football, I wanted to be like Deion Sanders and Eric Metcalf. That was one of the reasons I wore number 21 in Pee Wee's. And coming up, I had, and a lot of people don't know this story, but I had a cousin named Robert Foster, played at Bookto, and I used to always have to go train with him and run with him, Johnny Monday, all those guys. I had to go run with him all the time, and him, Robert Foster, and going to watch them when they was playing Lions and E.J. Lindley and all them.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Deion, well, we call him Deion. Everybody else call him Rob, but we call him Deion. And then Champ Bailey. Watching Champ when I was coming up, those are the two guys. Were the two reasons why when I went to high school I got number 4, and a lot of people don't know that, But I wanted to be like Deion, you know what I'm saying, and play like how he played and do what he was doing. And then the way Champ Bailey was playing on both sides of the football, I always had Antoine Winfield in the back of my head because he was always he's from my side of town. Watching him all the way up, growing up, you couldn't emulate him.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard because he was a small dude, but he didn't play like that. So I would say, and coming up, those were the guys. When I got to college, it was me becoming a man and me being me. Mm-hmm. I wanted to be the best me I could be, and But in high school and in Pee Wee's, those are probably the 5 guys I really model my game after.
Coach Lynn, who you got, man?
All right. I'm going to say, before I knew any better, and y'all going to know why I said that. Before I knew any better, my favorite player growing up was Emmitt Smith.
Yes, sir.
Emmitt Smith.
Yes, sir. Deuce. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's Deuce, but he was a Cowboy, and I'm definitely a Redskins fan.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always liked the running back position. He wore the same number that I fell in love with when I first started playing sports. As I got older, I kind of I started liking this guy named Dexter McCluster. A lot of people know him. A lot of people don't.
Okay.
I remember Dex.
I like Dex because he was super versatile. He could do anything you needed him to do on the field. He's a utility player, and I kind of see myself as that to this day.
Respectable, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I can see that.
That's what's
What's up,
up.
George?
Okay. The one good thing that I like with Lynn is like he picked who one of my favorite players was. Emmitt Smith definitely was one of my favorite players. I got a chance to meet Emmitt this summer when we was in Dallas. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I felt like a little kid, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's Emmitt. I ran over here like, hey, bro, can I say what's up to you, man? He was my favorite player. I actually have bought a purple suit that he used to wear, man. I seen him play at the Brown Stadium. And he walked out with this dope purple suit on, man, and I ended up buying it my freshman year. So the same exact one that I used to wear to every game, bro. I didn't even switch suits up, bro. Look, they used to clown like wait on the team too. We used to have jokes, man. Like they used to talk about my purple suit, but I'm like, Emmitt wore this, bro. He wore this exact same color and everything. So him and I'm gonna say like Steve Atwater. You know what I'm saying? Like I love Steve Atwater. Because I played safety starting off. You know what I'm saying? Safety and corner for real. A lot of people don't even know that. I played safety and corner growing up and quarterback. But as far as emulating my game, when I got to college, like Weedy said, I was just trying to be versatile. Like now, I think I would be a good 3rd round pick. I ain't gonna front because they like hybrid players now, and that's what I was in the 90s. Like I was really a safety playing linebacker at a D1 school. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Which now that's a safety that can play linebacker or a linebacker that can cover guys.
That's the most
I'm like I'm ahead of my time a little bit. But growing up, to be honest with you, I emulated my game after one of our Alliance legends, man. Rest in peace, Tremaine Banks. I know a lot of y'all people from Alliance. I know y'all gonna be listening to this. I know y'all probably was watching us earlier, but I honor my game after him because growing up we ran a triple option, and I used to go to the high school games and watch Tremaine play, man, and he used to run that option, man, like to a T, bro. Like Tony Rice, you talking about Tony Rice? That was Tony Rice to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, and you know Tremaine ended up going to Miami of Ohio, led the nation in punt return and kickoff return in the same year, 1996. He just happened to pass away. Rest in peace, Tremaine. But that's who I idled my game after. And then when I finally got to high school, I mean, I played so many positions, I couldn't really just idle with nobody after that. You know what I'm saying? But growing up, yeah, Tremaine was my guy, man. I looked up to Tremaine so much, man, like, because I was a quarterback. I was a quarterback on offense, a corner, and a safety on defense all the way up until my junior year. Used to run that triple option. Even in the wing T, we ran the option. So, you know what I'm saying? That was who I idled my game around till, you know, college came around, and then it was just, hey, I'm trying to get on the field to play, so I don't idle nothing.
So, my favorite player growing up is the reason why I'm a Hokies fan. Michael Vick, he the reason why I put that visor on growing up playing quarterback. And I admire Peyton Manning too, just because of like his knowledge of the game, and the attention to detail. Just watching how he reads defenses, how he checks coverages, everything. I know in high school I kind of brought that up to my high school coach my senior year with running plays. I used to see Peyton Manning check to the one tech on all runs. You know, so if we running a power or a gap where you're pulling the guard or whatever, he gave me the freedom to check to that one technique just to get that double to make it easier, you know, where you get that center and that guard go up to that mic. But I used to watch Peyton Manning do that all the time, even though I still feel like he's the greatest regular season quarterback of all time. But that aspect of how smart he was something that I always admired. And when I got to college and I made that position switch, man, Steve Smith, like he's my favorite receiver all time. I just admired like his toughness, his grit. Didn't take nothing, and like when he did something to you, he talked right after. Whether you was a 6'5" safety, a linebacker coming down, anything.
He let you know.
He gonna let you know whatever it is whatever you want, whatever smoke you want with Steve Smith, you gonna get it. And I feel like he proved that every time he stepped on the field. Even when they said he was done with the Ravens after he tore his ACL and he came back and he had one of his best seasons. You watch him and he's still doing that. And then just another guy, just because people kind of compare me to him, Ocho Cinco, just with the route running. It was something like I just tried to perfect my craft in being a smooth route runner. I'm not as big a trash talker as Ocho was, but I can see where some of those comparisons. So Steve Smith, man, that's my dude. If I ever get a chance to meet him, man, I might be starstruck like when
I ain't gonna lie.
Like when you met Emmett, man. But recruiting, man, what you got for us today, Coach?
So in recruiting, we're gonna talk about college visits. We're talking about game day visits and talking about getting on campus and getting a feel for it. So when we go in and talk about right now, a lot of these kids are getting done with high school football in this time. They've probably been going throughout the year, but it's kind of time for them to, go look at some schools, go to some games and see what's going on. You don't really get the academic piece when you go for the game, but as far as explaining, if you go into a game, no matter what game you're going to, it can be Michigan versus Michigan State, or it can be John Carroll versus Mount Union. Get to the game early. If you can get there 3 or 4 hours early before the game starts, that gives you the opportunity to talk to some coaches, get a feel, be able to talk to some players before they get going, and see the game day atmosphere of what is it like getting ready to play here, in the locker rooms, on the field with the tailgaters and all that stuff. You'll get to see it pregame. I always enjoyed that part of walking and just being able to see the pregame and seeing people getting amped for the game, have my headphones on, kind of focusing, but I can see the other people having fun, getting ready to see you play. So that was one of my biggest things, is make sure you get there kind of early so you can see that atmosphere of what is it like to be here playing for this team. And then ask questions. Ask as many questions as you can to as many people as you can. It's going to be limited with coaches because it's game day and they trying to get everything situated. But, player personnel, director of football and stuff like that, ask them questions.
Yeah, if you get there early enough, you'll be able to talk to a lot of them. And that's just not for the players, too. I don't mean to interrupt you, Weedy.
No, you're fine.
That's just not for the players asking questions. The parents, y'all need to ask the questions, too. You know what I'm saying? If you're going on a visit, you need to have your questions planned out. Because I know when I went on the visits with my nephew, it was questions that I already had written out. Like, this is what I want to know. You know what I'm saying? This is what I want to know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's what they asking, but y'all have a set of questions ready, man, that you can ask the coaches when you get an opportunity, so you know what the situation your son going into.
And when you're going to a game, you want to get a feel for the sideline. You want to get on the sideline, fill it out, see what it's like, see what the coaches are saying. Even if you got to sit in the stands, pay attention to the coaches. How the kid is the coach coaching? If my position coach, if he ain't in the box, is he coaching that number 27 who came off the field and didn't do something right? Is he coaching that dude when he did do something right? Get a feel for all that while you're there. Don't just go there and say, hey, I went to the Penn versus Notre Dame game and watch the game. You're going there for a reason. You're going there because that's an opportunity for you to get a feel for where you want to be at for the next 4 to 5 years of your life. So when you go into the games, you're not just going to go. So go in there, fill it out, talk to people, I mean, the best person I think to talk to is the equipment guy, because
He see everything.
That's interesting.
He works with everybody. The strength coach, he works with everybody. You know, so the strength coach is going to meet with the head coach and the position coaches. The strength coach is going to be with the players. The equipment guy is going to see all of them and have communication with every last one of them on a consistent basis. If you can get some of those type of dudes and shoot some questions to them of how is he as a coach, you know, does he care about his players? You know what I'm saying? If something happens, is he gonna be there to help me, or you know, he gonna ship me to somebody else?
Right.
You know, so that'll be my main thing about, you know, right now, getting out there, going to some of those visits, some of those game day visits. You can be opportunity to talk. So talk to those people, ask those people different questions, and like piggyback on George, the parents is the biggest key, because the kids are just there and they eyes are bright and wide open, but at the end of the day, the parent got to be able to see behind the scenes. It's just a perfect spot for my youth. You know, is this my child? Is this gonna be like home for them when they get there? It don't matter the sport. You know, it can be basketball, it can be whatever. But as long as you get there and you get a good feel for it and you asking certain questions, it's important the parent do. You know. Also, we're gonna get into these official visits. And these official visits is getting to be. You can take them in the summer now, of your junior year, in the spring, summer, your junior year. So now these guys are seniors. They can take official visits. You can take them during this football season.
Explain the difference between an official visit and an unofficial visit.
Okay, so I'll start with unofficial. So unofficial visit is you're paying out of your pocket to go whatever school you want to go to. So let's say we're going to travel a little bit. Let's say we got to go to Louisville, down in Kentucky. We got to go down to Louisville, and because they don't use the S, it's Louisville. So let's say we got to go down to Louisville. You got to pay. You got to pay to go down there. You got to drive yourself down there, and then they do give you complimentary tickets to the game, and you go watch the game. You sit in the recruiting section. You go through the whole recruiting aspect. You'll talk to an academic person and all that stuff. But an official visit is all expenses paid for.
Okay.
So that's like going on a cruise and everything paid for.
Yeah.
You ain't got to worry about nothing. And your meals are exclusive. They fly you in.
Yeah, I got a couple of them this summer.
If you're going to Arizona, if you're going to New Mexico or whatever, they'll fly you in. You know, if it's far enough. If you got to drive, if it's close and you got to drive, they'll reimburse the parent or whoever drove you. Then the official visit, they put you up in the hotel, put your parents up in the hotel, wine and dine you. You know, you get to go and chill with some of the teammates and see what is college life about for a day or two. Is it 2 days now? I think it's 2 days now, or a day and a half or something like that now. And you know, parents go out with the coaches, go out to dinner, meet with the coaches, stuff like that. George, you can piggyback on it a little bit more because I know you just did it, but official visits is everything is paid for you to be able to go, and unofficial is you have to pay your way to go.
And those official visits, especially if you happen to visit the school on the unofficial, which you paying for everything, that's when you start to formulate those questions that you want to ask. And if you're one of those kids who actually gets offered a full ride, not just coming to a game, but the full ride, and they want you to come on an official visit, then those questions that you thought about then would be the perfect time to talk to them, because just from being on the experience, I still remember my experiences from college, and I took all 5 of my official visits, but to have it and being as a parental situation this time around, when you get that chance at the official, they will give you a chance for you to meet with the head coach and your position coach. I know when we went on the visits with my nephew, excuse me, we got to sit down and we went through the whole offensive scheme. You know what I'm saying? With the running back coach, we sat in there for an hour. We went through their whole running scheme. So, and since I know football, I was asking like, hey, what type of plays y'all running? I really liked their offensive system that they had at Penn State, but I formed all the questions. My sister had all her questions. I'm like, I made sure that, we didn't even cross questions. You know what I'm saying? We kind of checked with each other as far as, what we gonna ask the coaches and, so get your thoughts together before then. And every chance and every opportunity you have to talk to the coach, make sure you ask him as many questions as you have. And the last thing I'm gonna give you advice for too is make sure that you and your child are communicating and on the same page. Don't let that visit go by, official or unofficial, without y'all sitting down and discussing it. How did you feel? How did you like it? What did you like about it as a parent and didn't like? You know what I'm saying? That's going to help in their decision making, because I think a lot of these kids, I don't know for sure, with the guys that we know that's recruiting, I don't know how they talk with their parents, but to make the assumption that sometimes it could be overwhelming for them and mind-blowing that they don't even really think about some of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we as parents, we got to come in and put that idea into their mind, and you make sure that you sit down and ask them questions and talk with them.
Yeah, that's very important to sit down, especially parents, sit down with your child and have those tough conversations with your child, because, at the end of the day, everybody involved needs to feel comfortable. And if it's one thing that they're not, and mom's not comfortable with this, or dad feels that, somebody is, just talking, and they ain't for real about it, those things need to be talked about at home. And, that's a great point to bring up, George, for that.
Man, before we get out of here, man, our live viewers asking, and we definitely got to shout this out, man. We got middle school playoffs this weekend.
Oh yeah.
We got
Akron middle school football got playoffs.
For real?
Yeah. What's the matchups again?
It's this Saturday at 11:00 at Bookto High School. You have Firestone Middle School, which is Litchfield versus East Middle School.
Okay.
You have Bookto Middle School versus Jennings North High.
We got. Are you talking about Jennings on Talmadge?
Yeah.
Hey, we got. No, because we got like 3 or 4 kids. I see them every day when I leave work. Okay, that's what's up.
So it's this weekend. So that'll be the matchup: Bookto versus North and East versus Firestone. I think the first game started at 11:00, and then the second game after that, whoever win that game plays, I believe, the following weekend, which is the 16th, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
They play for the championship.
That's what's up. If anybody don't really know,
that'll be at Bookto also.
Like Akron is just actually getting middle school football, so
definitely.
This is huge to have a playoff now. We just got middle school football 3 years ago?
What's Telly?
Yeah, Telly is a junior. So 3 years ago. So like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's big.
That's huge, man. That's congratulations to those schools and those kids.
I know we got some our live viewers they were talking about it. So Coach Thurman, you got the East High School shout out. I see Litchfield's middle school coach Cameron Alexander, man. Shout out to Cam. Coach Lynn, man. Thank you for being on the show with us today, man. Let everyone know your social media, your Twitter, your Instagram, everything, where they can reach you at the follow.
Make sure y'all can cop one of them shirts too, man. I know y'all seen it.
I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Yeah, tell us more about that too.
Y'all can follow the brand on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TGBG Brand. You can also go to tgbgbrand.com for all the merch.
To God be all the glory, right?
Yes, sir.
And what's your main Twitter and your Instagram now?
Main Twitter is at YoungDreamer_LT. That's the same for Instagram too.
Okay. Hey, we out of time for today. Make sure you guys follow us on Facebook at Fix Sports Academy, Twitter, Fix Sports Academy, Get Fixed the Pod, that's Get Fixed the POD. And make sure you follow Get Fixed the Podcast on Instagram. Follow me, Coach Kim, at GCam1 on all platforms. Coach Clock, that's at Coach Clock on all platforms. And Coach George. Say it again, Coach George.
One Man, One Dream, ENT. That's 1, the number 1, MAN, 1, number 1, DREAM, ENT on Twitter, and then _ ENT on Instagram.
We're gonna get him to short.
Yeah, we got
to
get that change, man. But
I know that's too much.
Work on
That's
that,
too much.
we'll see you guys next week, and we'll probably have another guest on it, man. See you guys next week.
Peace.
Peace.